Hey everyone, that was a weird intro, like always. Dylan here. So, recently, I'll get more into depth about this later, but recently, let's say past 2 weeks, WWE has had this weird social experiment, I guess is a way to say it, going on at their live events, slash during commercial breaks, however else you like to word it. Point taken, it's been not during the main product or during the action in house shows, called the White Rabbit. Well, actually, it's been dubbed by the fans, but again, more on that later. Before we get into that, I just got some things to say, like this, for example. The White Rabbit. The White Rabbit is an interesting concept, even outside of wrestling. You know, if you go by its actual usage and like English terminology per se, then it's a meaning for, quote, a person who is in a hurry and complaining of being late, end quote. I presume it existed before this, and that's probably where they stole this from, but you know, like the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, I'm late for a very important date, no time to stop, hello, goodbye, I'm late, that rabbit. I think it's literally just because of the song, and because of maybe one reference later on, but there's going to be a recurring theme on Alice in Wonderland during this. Before I get into my theories, and before I get into the facts, this is what I'm going to do, right? We're going to start off the video by saying that there is so much information like leaked upon this and speculated and whatnot that I started this, let me look at the clock, I think Sunday, give or take. Yeah, because I was going to upload this 2 nights ago. I started this Sunday and it went into like 5 o'clock until 5 o'clock Monday, and I started Sunday night. So there is, no pun intended, a rabbit hole's worth of information, whether it's facts or theories or speculations, however you wish to word it, on the internet. So anything that I reference here that's not just from a WWE show and or a live event, I tried to, hopefully I can translate this. I tried to source all of my information that I got, information from. If it's not in the description below, because I'm just going to look at it real quick, sources alone is almost a pay 2, 3, yeah, let's call it, because that's a half, that's 1, that's a half, 1, that's a half, so 2 halves, 3 pages worth of source information. Could be because of the font size, but point taken, I have a lot of sources. So, well, I call them sources, people who I got information from on this video, whether it's informative facts or informative speculation. So like I kinda teased that earlier, right? This is a weird, again, no pun intended, rabbit hole that you can fall down if Raw was like your first Raw in like 8 or 9 months, and you just caught that, and you're like, oh wait, what's this? There's a QR code in the background, again, more on that later, or whatever, however you picked up on this, it can be a rabbit hole to get the information. So I'm gonna try to list all the information in chronological order up until I have to edit over this part. I said up until Raw because it was supposed to be uploaded last Monday, but yeah, I meant to say that. Now I mean SmackDown, of course, aka September the 30th. Yeah. So please do me a favor, because this took a lot of time on my hands. Hit that like button, subscribe. No, I'm kidding. The actual favor I want from you is inform me if I left out anything. I was going to say not theory related, but you know what? If you got theories on this too, Austin or not, let me know. Alright, enough of all that. Let's dive into this Alice themed hole with the facts off the bat. Alright, whenever I recorded this, I was going to throw images up, but I've been working on this for like a week. Please have mercy on me. If you need to fact check anything I say, look in the links in the description, Google search it, whatever. You will find the images, I promise. And I'm sorry for being a lazy editor. Anyway, to the actual facts. So again, if my information's off, let me know. This is what I've picked up. But on September 13th, during SmackDown specifically. They had a commercial break, and in the arena, they cut the lights and they played the song White Rabbit by, I wrote Jefferson Starship. This is a common mistake apparently, because I think, let me do a quick search real quick. So if you listen to White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane, a very common misconception is it's by Starship, Jefferson Starship. So I wrote that down as a mistake. Point taken. So September 13th on SmackDown, during a commercial break, they cut the lights off, and you hear the a cappella version of White Rabbit by Jessica Airplane. What? Sorry, I messed up the word, to be honest, by Jefferson Airplane. During that, whenever the song says remember, the lights turn red and they start flickering in a pattern that I think is very similar to the old like do the lights would do during the Fiends thing. And then it ends with feed your head on like a chant like 4 or 5 times over the weekend. During that time it starts appearing is what I wrote, but I think that's a bad way of saying it. It starts happening at live events. Apparently one event, I wrote down September 18th, specifically at a house show in Oakland. They do it before anyone was even in the arena, apparently. So I guess that's to like make them think something about it. But apparently during one of them, the lights flash pink at the end, which is weird because there's I don't like to talk about theories, but in case it turns into factual evidence later, I will mention this. There's 2 versions of one of the Extreme Rules posters, which, in case you haven't caught up on that, like Extreme Rules, it's rumored that insert name here, we'll get to him later, is rumored to return because there's fireflies or lightning bugs in the background and a lantern hanging up. In the posters of all the men's matches, if you go to the one with Edge and Finn, specifically, there's 2 versions. One's the normal like green and blue, or neon green, whatever color scheme you'd like to call that, and the other one has red and this pinkish purple color. I wrote down pink, but I think it was actually like a purple. It's just a quality look pink. Point taken. We'll get to it later, but it also has an X in the background. Again, we'll get to that later, why that's important. Just work with me here. So, it's interesting because during this time too, a person who is apparently a close friend to Bray and designed several of his merchandise items, used and not used, named Kyle A. Scabber. I apologize if I slaughtered that last name, but he tweeted out a picture of this like decrepit White Rabbit figure, which just how, I don't mean this in a negative way, just how they framed it. It reminds me of that Joker poster for The Dark Knight, that iconic shot, But anyway, he posted that. It's the gnarly rabbit, and it just says, feed your head below it. And then he tweeted out, quote, ... no one knows the day or hour when things will happen. Not even the angels in heaven or the Son himself. Only the Father knows, end quote. Except, like, the part of from angels onward basically is like cryptic text with, sorry, during that text, that's a separate one. So he tweeted out the rabbit thing, and then he tweeted out this. During the rabbit thing, when he tweeted that one out, it had the caption feed your head, and I think it had like cryptic text too. On this one, tweeted out what I just said, and it's basically from the angel part onward, like kind of cryptic slaughtered text, and it has a very creepy looking photo. Just a heads up, if you're watching this like, I don't know, late at night or something, just heads up, it's eerie. Monday, September 19th on Raw, there's a QR code that appears during the Austin Theory segment. I think it's like when he's warming up. If you scan that, apparently a white rabbit popped up saying, feed your head. Like it had text saying "Feed Your Head" in the same font that the "Find Me" font on Bray Wyatt's 2014 shirt had. Hopefully, again, I throw up a picture so you got it. Then after it stays there for a little bit, a game of Hangman will pop up asking, who killed the world? It'll play it out for you, crossing out both Demon and Xiau, Xiau, aka a person who's very spiritual, hinting towards somebody else. Eventually the answer, you did, gets revealed. Something else interesting to note, which I will theorize on later, is that there's an hourglass circled with a red ring in the bottom right hand corner. Also, another thing to note, 2 or 3 of these games that will be mentioned, the mini games had parts here and there where if you listened to I'm trying to think of the name of the second song. The first one was Live in Fear, but Bray Wyatt / The Fiend's 2 songs, if you listen to those, it has very similar rhythm to it. Plus the version with the guitar of the White Rabbit, or yeah, I guess, yeah, it's still guitar. That version of it, the beginning of it awfully sounds like the doom 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 part of Live in Fear, the predecessor of it. So, there's something else to note for a theory later on. Also, something to note that apparently a lot of Wyndham's Twitter posts, aka Bray Wyatt, has been doing that little circle thing too, so coincidence maybe, who knows. After this played out, there's an alarm clock and it flashes like blue one time for the text, white one time, and the white one has no eye for the rabbit, but the blue one has a red eye. Point taken, it's the time 9:23 with a white rabbit on it, like on the left and right side. The reason why that's important, because 9:23 could, if you loosely translate it, could be September 23rd, which was the day of the following SmackDown, which I'll get to that. There was also another guy, or another QR code I should say, on Raw. There was a guy in the crowd that just had it, like, I think he had it on a sign maybe. If you scanned it, it would bring you to a rabbit hole with a rabbit falling down it. It's not literally falling down it, it's like getting warped into it, I guess is a better way to say it. But anyway, while that's happening, text pops up that says, come with me. This happened during the Streets Profits match on that show, by the way. I'm in the middle of doing a review for it, so I don't really remember anything past that point. Also, Come With Me is interesting because I may mention it later on, but that used to be Bray Wyatt's, back in his FCW days, that used to be his moniker, I guess. You know how he used to like follow the buzzards or let me in or whatever. Come With Me was his first one. Alright, so after that opening of the door, basically. Alright, you know what? Actually, I'll give it a better metaphor. After putting the key into the door to the rabbit's den, we'll fast forward to the 23rd. Oh, the 23rd? You mean the date that was predicted there? Guess what? They had another moment where, like, the song plays, but, like, you see the empty arena, I think during a commercial break. Apparently this time it was speculated that the fog from the entranceway started creeping in closer to the ramp than it was before, but it's just like all of this, that's speculation. So on 9:23 during the SmackDown taping, when they went to a commentary break, apparently the whole White Rabbit song started playing. Oh, that's why, by the way, many people have called this character the White Rabbit, is just because the song is titled that, so, people have dubbed it the White Rabbit. There's no confirmation or denial that that's the name of this. Anyway, this time during the QR code, by the way, one point it's during Hit Row and the Street Profits, Natalia, Drew Gulak, etc., having like a party backstage. One of them is tricky to see because it's on the podium or table. I don't remember, but it's on the standing up thing, and one of them is on the Promethean board in the background. So if you click on one of the, or sorry, if you do one of the QR codes, it ends up bringing you to a white rabbit walking around a maze where you have to dodge like these fires near doors to get to the red door, which is a good metaphor for how the last couple of months of Bray's career was before he got fired. Anyway, once you get there, the word patricide, I don't know if I can say that on YouTube or not, so, oh well. AKA the killing of one's father, end quote, pops up. And right below that, the coordinates of, oh, sorry, I couldn't type out the literal coordination, but when you search it up on, like, Google Maps or whatever, it's the location for Rogers Palace in, is it Palace or Place? In somewhere Alberta, Canada, aka where that Monday night's Raw would have been located. So what's the Raw after the 23rd? Let me see if I can do math. 23rd would have been there, so the 26th, yesterday, sorry. Also, something cool to note that apparently happened was whenever they did the commercial break in the arena after the QR code segment, it was apparently 9:23 when they started it, so that's cool that on 9:23 they started it at 9:23 like the thing on Raw said. Also, if you were like in the arena and you didn't get the chance to do the QRs, after the show, WWE apparently put like flyers on everyone's car with a white rabbit on it, with the I think the same coordinates too. So that was freaking sick. Also, apparently merch went up the same night for the White Rabbit as well. Once this became a phenomenon, WWE was like, man, we're capitalizing on this. And you know what, honestly, I still got one more night to go, but I'm just going to get this out of the way. Honestly, if they just stretch this for like months and months and months, like I'm talking about, I honestly would be entertained. As long as, you know, they let Bray or whoever's behind this have full creativity still. If you just want to stretch this all the way up, honestly, I'd be fine if they stretched it up till the Raw after Mania. Like, they could go that long with this. I really do think. That's what? 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. I'm going to presume Mania is in April. So, worst case scenario, that's 8 months from now. I really do think if they go full creativity, that they could stretch it for that long. That's how entertaining just looking at this stuff is and all that. You know what I mean? Because, again, if it's him, I have two that could work with this. One of them is the guy that everybody suspects, to keep it as quote-unquote cryptic as I can. If it's him, that'd be cool. Because that means, you know, finally get one of my favorite wrestlers back in the game. And if it's also him, what I was actually trying to get at before my brain just blanked and I had to stall for time. If it's him, apparently, like, he had some issues or something like that, allegedly. Like, I guess his back was hurt or something like that. I'm just speculating. Point taken. He was apparently hurt and not, like, medically cleared or something like that, I think. I don't know if I'm making up stuff. If I am, I apologize. But I think I heard something like that before he got fired, which was, like, a big reason why he got fired. But, point taken. If we ran this off for 8 more months, I mean, it's just gonna ultimately, as long as us the fans can stay patient, it's just gonna build more hype around who this White Rabbit mysterious character is, and that'll be good for business. It'll make people tune in for that alone. Sorry, something happened behind the scenes. I forgot what I was saying if I kept that in. So, September 26th happened, and there was a QR code last night. Or I keep on saying last night, even though it's like Wednesday, Tuesday when I record this / upload this. But, yeah, you get what I'm saying. Monday Night Raw. There was a QR code. The QR code was clips of superstars, like different superstars, whether it's past, current, or future, saying different words when, like, spliced together. Basically, it said, like, who killed the world? you did, feed your head, and then you get the code 40701, which that first O in quotes is a 0 as well, so 40701. Which apparently, if you type it out, no one's found the answer yet as of last night. Maybe it's changed since today, and I apologize again if it has. Back to the subject. At the bottom of the video, during Papa Shango's, I think it's technically Shango, but I say Shango, whatever. During his part, there's another code, and when you type that in, you'll get a location called Giant Pink Bunny. People also pointed out that if you look up the locations on YouTube, I think, or just type in White Rabbit Productions, it exists apparently, with an ominous video where people have allegedly said that they heard, like, Let Me In the background noise, but I'll be honest, I haven't watched the video. Stuff like that weirds me out. But the, what's it fucking called? I've done this for 10 years, I should know. It's the border. So it's not your main profile pic, but it's the thing behind you. I'm gonna call it the border mail. That sounds terrible. Point taken. That one has the number 04062. Oh, apparently I lied, by the way. There's another video uploaded from like 15 years ago, and I think there's like a handful of videos that have been privatized on there as well. If you want a better, more thorough investigation into this, I got a couple YouTube videos linked in the description below, or a channel that I just want you to watch all their videos based upon this, because they're thoroughly investigating into this, while I'm just like, hey, here's the big things you need to know. Point taken. Hey everyone, Modern Day Dylan here. I don't know why I always say modern day, but you get what I'm saying. So last Friday, aka September the 30th, they played something, the QR code during one of the promos that Karrion Kross is doing on Drew, which is interesting because a lot of people have been speculating this is like a repackaging for Karrion for some reason, but it doesn't make that much sense. Could lean towards any theory later on. Anyway, just want to give you a heads up, this one has like some disturbing images, but if you go to this QR code, which will also be the QR code in the thumbnail, it will bring you to a video of a pig whistling, and then you like so it's like one image of a pig, cartoon pig, one image of cartoon pig, one image of cartoon pig, it gets chopped up, then it goes back to the pig, gets chopped up, and then cartoon big bad wolf, and then like a real big bad wolf, basically saying like he, you know, who's afraid of the big bad wolf, you know? I get it, but it's also very like grotesque, so don't watch it at night, asterisk. Anyway, I think that's all for this week. Maybe there's, okay, again, if there's more that I've missed, I apologize. It won't be in the comments below for this week, but if it is, let me know, because I can guarantee you I've missed something. Oh yeah, and they did another playing of Jefferson Airplane during one of the commercial breaks. I don't think I missed anything else though, so we're going on to the rest of the video, aka explaining the second half. Yeah, like I was just saying there, to kind of wrap this half of it up, there's videos and articles and etc. linked in the description below if you want to fall into this rabbit hole, or if you want to read some of the theories I didn't mention yet and or won't mention. But mostly I wanted to throw factual, not concrete evidence, but things that are not disputed, that have been either hinted at that it could be the White Rabbit, or if you do your work, like, it could be the White Rabbit, or just point blank, it was on WWE product, and if you do the QR code, you can see it, you know what I mean? Oh, also, when you put in that coordinates, the 4 whatever I mentioned earlier, let me find it real quick, the 04062, whenever you put that in, it takes you to a location called Windham, I don't know why I said that so weird. That's cool though. Also, apparently on one of the QR videos, if you go to the source code, then Alistair Black's old lyrics can be seen. I want to right now say that maybe it's just me, but I see for the White Rabbit picture that that gentleman, that I've already forgot his name, sorry, tweeted out. If you look at the body shape, it looks very much like an Alistair Black, but allegedly AEW is not letting Malachi get out of his contract deal or something to that extent. I don't know. I don't keep up with behind the scenes stuff. I just want to be surprised with wrestling now. The only reason why I'm doing this is because it's like, oh, hey, this is a big thing. Oh, despite that, this is a cheap little plug saying that eventually, coming soon, I will start doing the news again. I think I literally did it once and then stopped. Anyway, back to this. I don't know if I specified or not that one with the Papa Shango was a TikTok. One of the QR codes was above the announce table on that episode of SmackDown. If you saw that episode of SmackDown, apparently there's something that'll lead you to Corbin, I think like Kentucky or something like that, but that's his theory too. I think I've linked somebody in the description below that can tell you more about that theory. I just want to like compile all the quote-unquote evidence together, then give you my who could have been. Got one more thing. Apparently around the rabbit there's red circle just like the first one, and throughout some of those house show playings of this, there was a circle appearing in the middle of the ring the way the lights did it, like dimmed it. Oh, also there is a link to the episode of SmackDown, like the date of SmackDown, so what would that have been? Not the 23rd. This SmackDown, September the 30th, was in the URL, so cool. Apparently there was a rumored clue that was supposed to air, but I guess it was like a red herring. I don't know. Like I have specified, I don't keep up with the rumor aspect of this, but you know, enough harping on that. So just to like touch on some of the Bray Wyatt speculation, there was this whole back and forth between Bray and Kyle, the gentleman mentioned earlier, teasing an area called Ozark apparently, or a website which has a white rabbit as its logo, and there's actual articles in the description below if you want a better description on it per se. And apparently Jefferson Airplane also has a song called Let Me In, which again, pulling for straws, but you know, hey, I'm grasping. Alright, so now that all the facts, at least all the facts that I know off the top of my head, and a couple theories here and there have been mentioned, let's get down to the who can't be part. So right, this one's a little bit of a stretch. You're going to hear that a lot. But the lyrics say, and the Red Queen's off with her head. So maybe that could either be referenced like Charlotte's been gone and now she's going to have a change in character when she comes back. Or maybe it's like a Queen of Hearts reference, so you know, like Natalia. Or maybe it could be referencing like the king instead of the queen is out, like Vince, the kingpin of WWE for the longest time. It could just also be, I don't know, one of our candidates later ever have a... Wait. Right, so are you ready for the world's biggest stretch? I was literally like searching through Wikipedia trying to find this because nobody else has mentioned this, right? So let's just spoiler, I guess. Everybody thinks, including myself really, that this is a tease for like the story of Alexa Bliss. Never mind. Sorry, my A-word device went off. But I think it's a teaser for her and Bray Wyatt. I'll get to the Bray Wyatt reasons later. But an interesting stretch is, it says, and the Red Queen's off with her head, right? You know, you could get like a reference to Charlotte being gone maybe, or like a reference to Charlotte in general. And the last person to fight spooky Miss Bliss was Charlotte Flair. In fact, she ripped up the Lily doll. I don't know if it was the last spooky her, but you know what I mean. She was the one that ripped up the OG Lily doll. And I know she still has it around and is carrying it, but it's not like the original. So maybe that could be like a very stretch of a reference to that. Plus, the whole Alice in Wonderland thing maybe could be like where she likes Disney a lot. I didn't make that up. I think that's canon. I don't know. Point taken. That's a theory. So a lot of people believe where it and the song's title is called White Rabbit. It could be referencing the team that Paul London and Karrion Kross had in Lucha Underground, but both men have shut it down separately. Whether it's a work or not, I mean, that's up to them. I know, guys. It's gonna be Adam Rose because he had a rosebud that was bunny. So this is the return of Adam Rose. Yeah, no, okay, didn't believe that either. Okay, so going back to the Miss Bliss, I'm gonna keep on calling her that so that way my A-word device doesn't go off. I'm sorry if it sounds creepy. During that, she had a match, I think, with Bayley, and there was a little light flash right beforehand. Commentary's been suggesting that she hasn't been herself recently, and she referred to Alice in Wonderland a couple of times during one of her promos a couple weeks ago. And like I said, the Disney reference, no, just me. Okay. Once again, if we're talking about stretches, it could be maybe like Dominic Mysterio, because the killing of one's own father thing, patricide, yeah. Alright. Let's get the obvious one out of the way. So it's Bray, right? Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. Everybody believes it in here, including myself. Sorry, I forgot one. People have rumored it's Aleister Black returning, but according to him, AEW won't let him out of his contract, basically. It sucks. Alright, so here's the Bray's theories. So, between the lights being how the Fiend one was, the rhythms being so close to Let Me In / Broken in Love. That's the title of the other song I was thinking of, Let Me In. The feature headline and, the head he used to carry around, him being cryptic on Twitter, there's a lot of these, bear with me here, the very loose tie-in to Rambling Rabbit, his last action figure being a magician. When he was in FCW, he talked about killing his own father, asterisk in character. Apparently, I guess it's been pointed out that while if you search on WWE for White Rabbit, it takes you to an article about Bray's Firefly Funhouse match against John Cena, at WrestleMania 2021, I think, which is a lot of people. I personally think it was the last time that Bray was Bray, the Fiend Bray, not in any other sense, because after that he got partnered with the name previously mentioned and then he got fired, and now we're up to now. Also, asterisk, it is worth noting that the words white and rabbit appear separately in the article, with the article mentioning, quote, Rambling Rabbit, end quote, and John Cena's, quote, black and white, end quote, NWO t-shirt. It has also been noted that if you search for 923 on WWE.com, one of the top results will be a clip of The Fiend attacking Braun Strowman on the September 23rd, 2019 edition of Raw. There's also a Shield vs. Wyatt family match from September 23rd, 2014. Plus, Bray's been semi-teasing it, semi-just going with the rumors on his social medias. The deeper meaning behind the term White Rabbit could loosely be where it means one being I mean, it could be like, oh, hey, I've been playing this a couple years. Sorry, we're just now getting the chance to do it because it's me returning because they made a stupid financial decision. No, we're not opening that can of worms, Dylan. Let's see, what else is there? I got several of these. So here's my hack theory, right? Like I mentioned earlier, if you slow down or you just listen to the first little bit of White Rabbit, it sounds kind of familiar how Live in Fear sounds. And that, like I said, a couple of the maze games in the background, there's parts here and there that sound like bits of the Fiend's old song, the Let Me In, I think. But the version of Live in Fear that... Oh, wait, that Code Orange? Yeah, that Code Orange did. Oh, also, Bray's old FCW character used to say, "Come with me." Oh, this is what I was trying to mention earlier, by the way. When you type in the coordinates for this last Monday, it brings you to Corbin, Kentucky, which is interesting, too, because if you watch during the part where he gets into JBL's limo, there's someone coming out of the production truck, and I have a pretty keen eye. It kind of looks like somebody who has a body shaped very similar to Bray Wyatt's, I'm just saying. Oh, also in 2022 or 2021, yeah, 2021. No, maybe it was 2. Point taken. Bray defeated The Miz. He defended the Universal Championship against him. And let's see here. Cookie Kid on Fire on Twitter pointed out that the reason why that's important, in 2020 insert date here, he defeated The Miz for the title, is because that was in I think Corbin, Kentucky. So the Cookie Kid on Fire thing, the cactus was in the background, had 6 points on it, and this could be like a random chance, but it also looked like a W, which people are speculating like Wyndham, or 6 points representing the Wyatt 6 thing he had going on his Twitter for a while. Or, as I'm saying, you remember how the Wyatt family used to like take an M and like throw it on Bray's shoulder towards that second run before Brody went to AEW? I don't know. I'm just grasping at straws, I guess. Point taken. There has never been a more exciting time to be a wrestling fan. I legit think. But, with that being said, I'm going to end the theories here. If the squeaky chair and, like, probably 20 minutes of me rambling like a rabbit on about this stuff, if that's not enough content for you, there's also links in the description below, both for my sources and also for more sources that I was going to include in this. But like I said, this is going to be a lengthy video as it is, so I understood the implications of doing such. Anyway, I'm quit rambling now. Thank you all for watching. If we get any more information on this stuff, I may just post a video on it separate. I'm going to try to do news videos daily. If not, I'll do them, whenever I feel like it. You don't control me. Point taken, I'm trying to do those daily. If I don't get those... Oh, I'm sorry. Plug in the channel at this point. Hey, everyone. Future Dylan. So, like a week from the last voice you heard, a.k.a. today. You know what? That's weird. Think about time. So, at this point, I'm just plugging. If you liked what you saw, thank you. Or I guess if you liked what you heard... Point taken, thank you. It would mean a lot to me if you want to subscribe, like it, share it around, etc., etc. With that being said, right now, I'm just going to start plugging what's left for the channel, and this is all going to be raw footage, even if I take a lot of pause, so, you know what? Let's see here. Tonight is Sunday. Throughout next week, I'm going to try, emphasis on try, to do a predictions video for Extreme Rules 2022. Forgot what year we're in. Maybe some DNA, the wrestling event, not the channel. Sorry, I just had a flashback to 2011. What I meant was my Rise mode. What else do I got going on over here? I think maybe Noose, if I get enough time to do it. Same for the review for Raw. I'm going to try to not upload more frequently, because we know how that goes. I'm going to try to get like 4 to 5 videos throughout the week. So, if you want to stick around and check them out, I'd appreciate you. Rather than that, I really don't have anything to say except for thank you. Oh yeah, correct me in the comments below if I said anything wrong or if I left anything out. Like, just to reiterate what I said earlier, September 30th SmackDown. I honestly didn't source that much information. I just caught a couple things and I was like, you know what, that's good enough. Anyway, I'm quite rambling now. Thank you for watching. Love y'all. See you next week or next time, whatever. Bye.